See, ladies and gentlemen, where there's a will, there is definitely a way. And I was definitely willing and open and ready to have Jason come on because I just really been kind of just semi Facebook stalking you, Jason, and YouTubing you, just recently YouTubing you, and I just think you're just a really great energy spirit, and you have a amazing view on life and love and women, and I wanted to get you and capitalize all of that on that in this one session because I wanted the ladies to really hear what you have to say. When I asked you what do you want to talk about, that was really kind of, it melted my heart in a sense because if you can share, everyone, let's welcome Jason onto the show, and if you could just share if you can remember what you wrote when I asked you what you wanted to talk about on the show today.
Okay, first of all, thanks for having me on. I appreciate you. Yes, well, I'm just noticing that, I'm seeing that there's a shift going on. I'm seeing that a lot of women are, starting to embrace their power. And part of that power is the sensual nature of the feminine, the sexual nature and things of that nature. But I'm also noticing that a lot of women are confusing sexual freedom with just engaging in a whole lot of sexual activities and things of that nature, and that's not true sexual freedom, and if you're engaging in these sexual activities thinking that's going to make you more quote-unquote spiritual and things of that nature, if you haven't dealt with the trauma that you've gone through in your life that's surrounded around sexual abuse, your guilt and shame around sex, you're causing more harm than good to yourself. So sexual freedom is actually working on that trauma, clearing those things out, healing yourself. Because if you engage in sexual activities and you still have issues surrounding around sexual abuse or guilt and shame subconsciously around sex, you're not sexually free. You're bound by trauma that is the foundation of your sexual experience. So to be sexually free is to be free from all of that negativity that's embedded within your subconscious from the trauma and the things you've experienced in your life. And I see a lot of women, men too, because men are sexually abused as well, but I see a lot of people in general who are trying to, first of all, mask sexual addiction with spirituality. Like, I'm spiritual, let's love each other. But you know what? If you can't control your urges, that's not being spiritual, because being spiritual is about mastering self, and mastering self is about being more in control of how you respond. If you're reacting instead of responding, that means that you're not having control over your actions. So being more spiritual is responding, not reacting. If you're reacting, that means something is, and I want to speak on this level too when it comes to it, like any addiction, whether it's sexual addiction, drug addiction, any addiction that it is, it's just like it's a parasite that's feeding off of you. Just like I give you an analogy. When you have a tapeworm inside of your body, the tapeworm emits this chemical in your body so you can crave certain foods that it wants. Well, the same thing happens in your spirit. Spirit energetically, parasites attach to you. Just like Eckhart Tolle talks about this, the pain body. Well, if you have a sexual addiction, there is a parasite that's attached to your energy that wants you to have all the sex so it can feed off of you. And I'm not saying that sex is a bad thing. I'm not saying that even having an orgy is a bad thing, or having sex with multiple people at the same time is a bad thing. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this. If you are engaging in sexual activities because you can't control your urges and it starts to affect your life, that's imbalance. If you're engaging in sexual activities trying to pretend like you don't feel pain, trying to feel like there's no guilt, or you're trying to feel like that the trauma that you experience from sexual abuse doesn't have an effect on the fact that you can't be completely present within sexual activities, that's when it's imbalance. So for us to be sexually free, we have to heal each other first. Healing comes before sexual freedom. And a lot of people are skipping that step. They're jumping over the healing part.
Ooh, I'm sorry. I got my church hat on today. Hold on, let me take this off. I'm hot. Ooh, wait a minute. Whoa, my goodness. Wow. You said more than a mouthful. More than a mouthful. I'm going to share a teeny bit of mine.
I talk too much,
No. I need you to. It's a talk show. You're
All
perfect.
right, good. Well, you got the right person. You need somebody to talk a lot.
Oh.
But yeah, definitely. I just think that it's a problem. I'm seeing that happening a lot. I see people, this big sexual revolution, sexual movement, but we're not talking about the healing process. And then on top of that, there are some people who are using tantra, because I do energy work, and I don't even want to call it tantra anymore, because I'm seeing that the practice itself is becoming tainted. I'm seeing people who are using tantra for their own sexual gratification, and it's sacred energy work. Because I've done energy work on women that wanted me to have sex with them, and I said, no, this is not about sex. This is about me helping you heal. It can bring pleasure to you. You can have energetic orgasms and all of that. But the thing is, I don't engage in energy work with women for my own sexual gratification.
Wow.
My chakras are more balanced. I'm not in my lower 3 chakras. There was a time I had sex with a whole lot of women, and I was out there getting it in. But you know what? I've grown past that. I've grown past that. So therefore, I can spend time. I can be intimate with a woman, and intimacy is not just sex. When I do energy work on women, that's intimate. But I don't have to engage in the physical activity. I'm not a slave to my sexual urges. I don't need to engage. I have control over my urges. I respond. I don't react sexually. I respond. That's the difference.
Wow. I am I'm in awe because it's so rare to find a young, African American or Black American man that really has this grasp of and concept and have a clear message in this area. I agree with you a lot about everything actually, but the sexual healing piece is so very important. When I started my sexual journey, it was about 20 years ago. I had some sexual trauma in my youth. I was not raped, thank heavens. I know women that were, young that was raped, and that has to be, because it was hard for me to get over just some molestation that happened in my family, and so I could imagine when people have that extreme, because I had put myself in this place of a victim in a sense, because that's how I was perceived in a sexual way. So I went on about my business, not realizing my connection to everything in my sexuality. And when I finally got a grip, okay, when I started kicking off my first opening of my first awareness was about 20 years ago, and I just stopped cold turkey. I stopped for about 17 months. And consciously said I'm not going to have sex because I need to know and need to heal something, and I don't know how to do that, actively having sex. I need to become friends with people first and see how that is. And that's what I did. I did that for 17 months, almost 2 years. I was like a born-again virgin, and it was amazing. It was amazing how that, when you're not sexual, how your whole life becomes something else. And I got a lot of work done, a lot of community work done, and it was really, really a cool time for me. But then when I did get back into sexual life, I had more control over it in a sense, more of a mastery over it, and I had a better understanding of my relationship to it, and I was able to, in that 17 months, heal. So I do, as a witness, say to you that is absolutely the only way to go. You have to heal that first, because you walk around with that sore, and it acts out in ugly ways, and you don't want that to happen, because when you have those kind of inner wounds, those things do its own thing in your life. Sometimes you don't even know when it's coming, So heal those things now when you can, as you were speaking of, and talk a little bit about more of what your movement, and because you're moving away, because you said part of that tantric whole free love kind of movement, and now you're into something a little bit more. It seems to be more spiritually balanced in a sense. So speak a little bit more about that.
Okay, I'm still supportive of that type of lifestyle if it's balanced. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with sexuality. There's nothing wrong with that freedom, sexual freedom, things of nature. But I think, like I said before, we're skipping over the healing part. And I'm just saying, and you're correct. I'm coming from a different space. I'm coming from a pure space with it. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect or anything like that, but I'm just saying that I think we need to recognize that we have to heal before we can experience that freedom. That's all I'm saying. And I think that I don't really hear too many people discussing this. And I think it needs to be discussed. I think it needs to be brought up to the forefront in this movement. And, as far as my movement, the Deeper Love movement, it's just real simple. It's all about us loving each other unconditionally and supporting each other. And here's another thing I want to say, too. Now, we're talking about that you need to heal before you be sexually free. So let's talk about how you can heal.
There you go.
Let's talk about the solution. Number one, the basic solution, or the first step, is to talk to someone that you trust about what has happened to you. Because so many women that I've dated and been in relationships with, they've been sexually abused. But I create a comfortable space for women, so they just come out and tell me this because I create that comfortable space automatically. So I think you need to find someone that you can trust to get it out of your system, because a lot of people don't even discuss things that have happened to them, and they hold it all inside. And that can cause that can show up as a physical element, physical sickness, because that's energy blockages going on. And if you have energy blockages because of trauma, that leads to physical sickness. So the first step is talking about it, getting it out of your system. After that, you could look into different energetic healing modalities that can help you, like theta healing. And theta healing is, you find a theta healing practitioner, they take you to a theta brainwave state. And when you're in that state, your subconscious is more able to be reprogrammed. So they'll give you certain mantras to help you reprogram the trauma and stuff that you've experienced in certain sexual situations, or if it's guilt and shame because of religious beliefs or what have you, societal beliefs, to help deal with that. And then, you can use pranic healing, which is another energy healing modality, to help clear out blockages within your energetic system. And then I'm going to say tantric work this time. I'm looking for a new name to call my energy work. But for right now, let's just call it tantric work. Tantric work. And what I do is, when I do energy work on women, sometimes when I'm doing that, the clearing, things will pop up. A woman might start crying, and they might start seeing a vision of when they were sexually abused, a vision that was so deep within their subconscious that they wasn't even consciously aware of it. So when that comes up, then now I have the skills to discuss, what are you seeing? Let's talk about it. Wow. Cry. You need to cry. Let that out. Let's clear that out. So I'm energetically clearing that out, and then emotionally clearing it out when you're talking about it and discussing it. And see, for a woman to be able to heal in that space, they have to be with a man who's there to create that comfortable, non-judgmental space.
Right.
It has to be a man with pure intentions, and that's the type of man that I am. I'm not going to sit there and try to be like, yeah, let me touch you then. Let's go deeper. Let's get real. It's not. It's not about that. Right. Now, you can incorporate the energy work with sexuality, which I do too, and this is why I have to be careful about who I'm intimate with. I have to be real careful. So if you're coming at me with energy that looks kind of clingy and needy, I know that I can't be intimate with you, because I know if I take you deeper, you're going to – because the thing is, here's the thing with me. I can be intimate. Let's just say I go out of town, I meet a woman. We have a beautiful chemistry, have a connection. We're intimate, and it's deep. If we're on that same level, we should be able to have that experience. And even if we never meet each other again, we should be able to walk away from that experience and appreciate that we had that experience together and let it go.
Right.
But see, we're not able to do that. We have a beautiful experience with somebody, and we feel like, oh, I want to have it again. Don't leave me. Please, let's have this experience again. Please, please. But see, if you understand that experience can be experienced in an infinite amount of times with other people. Yeah. You don't have to cling on to that one person to think this is the only time I'm going to be able to experience this is with this one person. Yeah. That's the thought of lack. That's coming from a lack thinking. So we have to get out of that. This is the only one for me. I can only have a beautiful experience with this one person, and let that go, and just let the experience be beautiful.
There's not enough men. That's a big one. A lot of women say, especially black women that's only looking at black men in America, they're saying that there's not enough black men,
Right.
Where are they? There's some in Africa. But,
Right. See, that's the problem right there when you break down love to just a color.
Yeah.
I mean, love is love. Excuse me, love is love. I would date women from all kinds of different races.
Me too.
I don't just be like, I'm going to go get me a black girl. I'm going to go get me a white woman. Nah, it's about who am I making connections with.
Hello, yeah. So okay. So we need to, if we want to actually get healed, we need to do work. That's important. And you outlined it. How many? 3 different ways we can do it. Right. So cool. So we'll use those modalities. And so how do we personally maintain that? You know, we'll get the help, we reach out and get the external work, but what is the internal work that we need to do?
Well, that is actually doing that type of work is doing internal work, because you're gonna end up pulling up things from the subconscious that needs to come out. See, when you're holding that stuff in, it's not coming out. You're holding it in, and that's the problem. You have to let it. The only way you can heal is if the pain seeps out of you. It has to come out.
Yeah.
In some form or fashion. And doing those type of energy modalities, moving energy, clearing the energy, that helps it come to the surface. And see, a lot of people don't want to do that because it hurts. When you relive the trauma, it hurts.
Yeah. But even the idea of trying to relive it is scary. That's the actual work is painful, and you have to work through it. But just the idea of doing it is really, I think, what people get caught at. That's the in-between part, because they said they don't even want to think about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to think about thinking about it. You know? So if you know, and I want to offer people just to become open. You know, just kind of surrender and become open. And journal your way through it too as well. Get the work done, and definitely get help. I agree with you, because what I see is that we are trying to do it by myself. I'm trained as a social worker, so I also am I just love information, and so I was able to self heal with the help of spirit, but I was very theta connected. You know, I was very connected at the time when I was doing it. So, but there's people that, and there's points in my life that I wasn't connected or didn't feel. I'm always connected, but didn't feel connected, and so I had to reach out to somebody like yourself to help me see what was already get me back into my awareness. So yeah, I do agree. You know, you need somebody sometimes to hold your hand through this type of work. It's not.
And the reason why, because I'm sorry. So the reason why is because most people don't know, they don't have the tools to know how to help themselves. You obviously tapped into some tools within yourself, but as far as, because with me, I still have issues that I go through, and what I do is I'm so aware of my mind. When I'm feeling bad or feeling a certain way, I sit back like, hey, why am I feeling this way? And I'm honest with myself, and I backtrack to find the foundation, the root of it, and then I look at the root and I'm like, oh, this insecurity right here, I need to deal with this.
That's right.
Like, whatever it is, I don't feel like I'm good enough, whatever. Why do I feel like I'm not good enough? What did my mother or my father tell me that made me feel like I wasn't good enough? Or what happened to me in my life that made me feel that way? And I think back about it, and I reprogram and try to build myself up. Like, no, I can do this. And usually when if let's say your issue is you don't feel like you're good enough, the universe will present you with a challenge. And when you take the challenge and then you get over the challenge, it's like that's an opportunity for you to show yourself that you can do it. Because that recently happened in my life, and it was something little. Something real little, but it was just the universe put me in a situation, and I was thinking, I can't do this. And, and next thing you know, now I'm doing it. It's like, oh, okay. See, Jason, you could do anything. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes when challenges come, there are just those challenges that are very uncomfortable, because it was very uncomfortable. I hated the way it felt at first. Like, I hate this. But over time, I showed myself that I can do it.
Yeah.
And that makes you feel like, okay, I could do anything now. I could do that. I could do this. I could do that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, dealing with yourself and being honest with yourself is a painful situation. And I'm telling you, it's still painful for me when I'm dealing with certain issues. I hate it. I don't like it, but it's necessary.
It is so
if you want to grow, it's your decision. Do you want to evolve? If you don't want to evolve, don't listen to anything that we're talking about. Just suffer.
Yeah,
but if you want to be a stronger you, and a freer you, you're going to have to go through some suffering, because the only reason why you're not free is because you haven't suffered through what you need to suffer through.
Right. You're avoiding it.
Part of that going through the suffering is healing. Yeah, you have to go through the suffering before you can heal. But
the beautiful thing, and this is the most beautiful thing, the thing that we're running away from, the self that we're running away from, is the one thing that we crave so much. The self that we are trying to avoid, really is the pain we're avoiding. But once we get over that and get to the other side of that self is so amazing. And you'd be like, what the heck? I was wasting all that time on stuff like that. So, it is very important. We got like 2 minutes left. I want you to share, how can we get into, I know you're in Atlanta, but I know you worldwide, because, so tell me, how can we connect? How can ladies really take advantage? Because I know I've been healed. I was healed the first 5 minutes, so I'm good. So I know that
That's
you
beautiful.
do. Yes, it is, and I so appreciate you. You're such a divine soul. So just tell us how to connect.
Well, you can reach me directly through my email at adeeperlove9@gmail.com. That's adeeperlove9, the number 9, adeeperlove9 altogether at gmail.com. And also you can go to my About Me page, about.me/adeeperlove9, the number 9, and you'll see all my links to my YouTube, to my A Deeper Love fan page, and you can follow me on Twitter, and everything is on there. So yeah, I post a lot of information daily. I share whatever comes through, because a lot of stuff, it comes through me. I'm just a portal. I'm just a portal.
Amen.
I'm just sharing what comes through me. So that's what it really is. It's not really about me. It's about the message. Yep. The portal's name just happened to be Jason Hairston.
Did y'all hear that? Oh my goodness! And thank you so much for coming, hanging out with us, and sharing your beautiful soul with us. And we just want to just invite you to continue on your journey and sharing yourself, because you are truly a blessing. All right.
I appreciate you as well. I appreciate you.
All right, honey.
Thanks for showing the love,
Yeah.
Let's tell each other, y'all. Don't be afraid to look. I want to say one last thing.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to share your traumatic stories with other people, because you'll be surprised how many other people have shared the same experience. And if we do this, we can help each other heal by giving each other the support, by sharing our stories. So let's do this and be more courageous and be more brave, and don't be afraid to be who you really are and to share your experiences with the world, because that can be healing in itself.
Be free. Take care, babe.
Yes.
I'll talk to you soon, all right? All right.
All right. Peace.